Good, happy Tuesday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, police. 1 arrested, more arrests possible following Bristol explosion. Let's take a listen to the video from WMER News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Now you can have everything. And your family can too.
We want a juice box.
The 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander with standard third-row seating. One of America's safest crossovers.
This month at Lovering Mitsubishi, lease the 2017 7-passenger Outlander, a 2017 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus for only $269 a month. Lovering Mitsubishi, cars you love from people you trust.
22-year-old Kyle Lyford of New Hampton is charged with reckless conduct and riot. Bristol police say he was involved in loud explosions that happened on private property on Morrison Road earlier this month. The blast so significant, Bristol and Alexandria police received hundreds of 911 calls.
The biggest thing came from this is everybody calling, everybody thinking that their house was being broken into, that this was Frudenberg blowing up.
Investigators say a group of people were using exploding targets. For the first explosion, about 50 pounds were used, then 100 pounds for the second blast. That was heard and felt from as far away as Lincoln. Police say people use these exploding targets every day, but usually less than 10 pounds at a time. Photos of the aftermath show a rock split in two and sticks sent into trees like shrapnel. Despite recent calls from concerned residents, they haven't had any other issues on that property since this incident.
We haven't had any more issues with the Tannerite or anything from the airstrip. Every time a firework or anything goes off in town, we're getting tons of calls. Everybody thinks it's the same situation, but it's not.
Police say officers responded to that address for similar calls in the past, but nothing of this size.
The investigation is still going, and we expect more people to be charged.
Lyford is due to appear in Grafton Superior Court next month. Reporting in Bristol, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. "19-year-old shot in leg while inside vehicle and ran off." Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Back the revolution. Then, boom! Cut the electricity for the whole street. My insurance agent, Rose, saved the day. Talk about a shot heard round the world, she said.
Fly in a Randolph neighborhood. News 55's Sean Chibot is live on a pretty active scene there, Sean.
Yeah, very active, and police have set up a perimeter here behind me. This is Mill Street. I spoke with several neighbors up and down this street. They say that they heard roughly 3 to 5 gunshots just before 8. The police activity centered around a green Scion. The passenger's window appears to be shot out there. Glass all over the road. The car veered off the road and hit some garbage cans. Witnesses heard and saw shots coming down Elderly Drive, which is a dead end.
And I actually heard gunshots right there, and I looked up and I just saw a flashing of gunshots.
You were feet away from that.
Yeah. So I just turned around, ran back in the house, told my husband, and we just went upstairs and just shut down for a minute because it was just really a scary thing.
And she says that the man who was in that car was talking to police after that gunfire. Ambulances did come, but it is unclear if anybody was injured. We did see police going door to door here, but right now they have not released any details. Live in Randolph, Sean Child on WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, there you go on that report. Maine lawmakers pass pot law, delay ranked choice voting. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Between seasons is a great time to get your car serviced. We'll check the alignment. We can tune the engine to make sure that you've got safe and reliable transportation, to make sure that your car is ready for the upcoming season. I'm Glenn, Service Manager at Patriot Subaru, Route 1 Saco.
The general consensus inside the State House right now is that the bill that was sent out of the Marijuana Implementation Committee will pass through the legislature at some point today, but it will not pass with enough support to override an expected veto from the governor. Now, the governor's office tells us it does not comment on the fate of legislation before a bill hits the governor's desk, but the governor's name was on the efforts to extend the moratorium on retail pot shops until the year 2019. Those who opposed the marijuana initiative want the moratorium extended, and so do some of the pot advocates. Others who pushed this issue at the ballot last year say Maine has already waited long enough for the full rollout.
To propose another delay at the 11th hour after this committee did 7 months of work, a transparent process, a good process, it's obstructionism.
The bill came out of committee completely different from what the people's referendum was. And the people's referendum, they wanted an opt-out clause.
And from our perspective, it's just about making sure we're doing everything we can to protect youth and communities.
Now, if lawmakers think they can get to the two-thirds necessary to override a veto, they will come back here in 10 days to do that. But if it seems like that's a lost cause, then the legislature will adjourn sometime tonight and not come back until January. We also want to bring you an update just in the last hour or so on ranked choice voting. There appears to be an agreement between members of the House and members of the Senate to postpone the full implementation of ranked choice voting until 2021, basically kick the can down the road, let another legislature deal with it, and if nothing changes by 2021, then ranked choice voting will be dead. Live in Augusta, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report. North Korea may be using algae to work around international sanctions. North Korea reportedly appears to be beefing up algae research facilities to strengthen its energy and food security. Algae could migrate the negative effects of international sanctions. One of the world's most sanctioned cities is going green for international security reasons. He died fighting for his brother, Niger ambush survivor says of fallen U.S. soldier. Nearly 3 weeks after the deadly ambush on U.S. Special Ops Force in Niger, ABC News has learned chilling new details about the mission gone wrong from a survivor of the attack and a senior U.S. intelligence office. Their accounts provided in separate interviews raises questions about why a second potential more dangerous mission was tacked on later in the day, even after a second team that was supposed to join them was unable to do so. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday and see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.